is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was told it's a knee.
Yeah, no, the other one's got a knee.
Yes.
He's got two stuck in the knee with purple. I spoke to Francis.
Long sleeve.
I had one of my brothers in there.
Oh, well, I didn't know. Sorry about that. No, you're all right, mate. Thank you very much. That's as far as it goes, Sam, is it?
Oh, no, I've got more.
No, I'll be right, mate. I'll be right. Well, you've got it, isn't it?
So you good to do a comms test?
Yes, mate. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Nice to be here. It's a bit better. It's a bit low, but anyway, it is what it is. Okay, thanks, mate. going, mate?
Good, mate. Good.
Good to see you. What's going on?
Same as you.
Same as me.
You're just commentating. I'm taking photos.
Oh, very good. Good to see you, mate. You're well?
You got everyone's name?
Oh, I think so, yeah. I know. Look, I know the Spring Hills girls pretty well.
Yeah.
A bit hard to see on the other side.
You're normally here, aren't you?
I've done five.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think anyone else wants it. But I'm over at Williamstown. I'll go anywhere.
Oh, you're not far.
No, I'll go anywhere. I'm
Yeah.
quite happy to come here. I've got a very fine.
Yeah.
I've got a very good relationship with Tom.
Oh, yeah, Tom, yeah,
Tom's a
yeah.
good fella.
Yeah, the president and the coach.
The coach, yeah. Oh, I don't know the president that well.
No, he's the president.
Tom is the president.
Yeah.
Is he both? Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, right. He loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's great place.
You know his daughter?
Which he's over at
Pauline.
Pauline, yeah.
Last year. Yeah.
What's he going over there for?
Make money? Who knows? Just ask Tom that.
Where does he live? Does he live?
He's a local.
Is he?
Yeah.
She travels over there.
I don't know where she lives. I know he lives. He's a
Right.
local. Yeah.
Because these girls are all under 23. Melbourne Victory.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, very young.
It's sad. You heard about the
Yes, that was horrendous, wasn't it?
She had cancer, is that right?
Yeah, she was on her way back to the army. Out of Puckapunya.
Oh, what happened?
She hit a tree.
Fell asleep or
I don't know. Put it. I hit a pole.
I hit a fence.
I hit a pole when I just got my license a month earlier. Oh,
Me
and
too.
I was in, and I was nearly
I
going to
fell
get
asleep.
charged because the families
Really?
behind me, with young kids, and those kids are now be in their late 30s.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, they'd be almost 40.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
I hit a fence and went and it stood off. Luckily, I didn't take out the fence. I just straightened my mirrors and everything all across.
Oh no.
But the fence is stood up. Otherwise, we went to a house.
I've had a lot of that too.
Have you?
Yeah, fallen asleep a few times.
Yeah, same.
But see, I've got a car now that tells you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it tells you if you're.
Is it a Hyundai?
No, it's a Mazda.
Oh, Mazda does
If,
that.
if you're changing,
annoying.
if you're changing lanes,
Yeah.
or you're unintentionally,
Yeah.
but the one they seem to know is if you're tired.
Yes.
What the hell?
No,
is that?
I looked it up. So, because the Hyundai, I borrowed a Hyundai and it was doing the shit out of it. It was beeping out. I was like, what the hell is this? It had a coffee symbol.
Yeah.
And it looks
Coffee?
Yeah, as to say that you're falling asleep. That's correct. So if you're
Well,
steering...
the one I've got looks like a mobile phone for both that
Oh.
and if you're changing lanes unintentionally.
Right, no, this
Which
one...
is probably the same thing,
Yeah.
thinking you're tired.
Yeah, coffee's
Yeah.
will wait pull over or then break. So what it does is it tracks that if you're going straight without going left or right, that's how they tell you're tired.
Really?
Yeah, because you're not moving your steering wheel, are you?
No,
just,
you're
like,
not.
When you're tired, you're just like this.
Yeah, you are.
That's how it knows. So after a certain distance...
God, aren't they good?
Yeah. And Volkswagen has the eye detect.
So what does that mean?
So if you see your eyes are like at a certain height, like
How
level...
can they work that out?
I don't know.
How do
That's
they work
fatigue.
that
Fatigue.
out?
They go like if you're...
Oh.
Yeah. And it'll beep at you. That's Volkswagen.
Yeah, well, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it? But the bloody things beat like 2 men half the time.
It's so
don't they?
annoying. I turn all that
they
shit
are.
off.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So it's a good night. No rain for you.
No rain. I'm normally up the top of the
Yeah. Aren't you guys normally on that side?
Nah.
Oh, it's always been here.
No, it's always been here. Well, I've done a lot of games here now.
Yeah, this side.
I've always been on this side.
Okay, I remember
Yeah.
last year I was on that side. That was last year.
Right. What, low? Like this?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
this. Yeah,
yeah.
same height, but on the other side.
Right.
Hello.
I'm Dan anyway.
Dan, I'm John.
John, nice to meet you.
Yeah. I'll put
So
my...
you do all the Spring Hills matches?
No.
do you?
I'm following Victor.
Oh,
Yeah, because Ayana does the Spring Hills photos.
right.
Yeah.
Who are AR?
Ayana. She's the
Oh,
one. She's the photographer for Spring Hills.
Oh, right.
But she also does South Melbourne sometimes, and she plays for Melbourne City,
Right.
the goalkeeper. Yeah,
She must make
the
a career in
A-League
Sydney.
one, yeah, A-League goalkeeper. Yeah, got his family over, the local, because I'm from Berwick.
You're from Berwick?
Yeah. Is this guy on camera yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
This will take you over an hour.
Okay. Hello, hey boys.
We thought we were very late.
No, 8:30 kickoff.
Oh, please say 8 o'clock.
No.
Hello.
You said on your thing
Was
was
8 o'clock?
Yeah.
8 o'clock? Okay, maybe 8:30 then. Maybe they pushed it to 8:30.
No, it's always 8:30.
It's always 8:30?
Always
Oh,
8:30,
8 o'clock
yeah.
as well, okay.
Yeah, it's always 8:30. It's always
Okay.
late here.
This is Dan.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
basket traffic. That's
2
normal
hours.
traffic. That's normal traffic at the time we get here, you know? Crazy. Yeah.
I do a lot of footy down the Moynes Peninsula. So
Oh,
I'll
wow.
go down to, where do I go tomorrow? I go to Crib Point tomorrow. Yeah. No,
That's long. That's like that's a big. I'm coming here.
Yeah, it is.
It's like an hour and a half here on a weekend.
Round about.
Yeah, on a weekday. It'll be
Yeah. The closest teams this year for me are Chelsea and Seaford,
Okay.
which
Good.
isn't too bad.
Oh yeah.
And then the Frankston teams are not too bad either. Coringal and Bombers.
Oh,
Bombers
yeah,
is
yeah.
going out a bit of Baxter.
Yeah.
But then I've got a lot of teams down the Peninsula, Rye, Red
it.
Hill, Crib Point, Hastings, Somerville.
What time is it? Let's go check. Oh shit! We get set up.
All right. Good to chat,
see you out
John.
there, Dan.
See you, mate. All the best. You let me know when you're ready to start, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Are you... Oh, all good.
Go on.
Are you... Is your headset muted?
My headset.
Oh, no headset, the microphone. Sorry.
I'll turn it down. Sorry, turn it off. It's off now. Sorry.
Just go when you're ready. I'm all set.
I reckon I'm ready, mate.
Yep.
Good evening and welcome to Springside Recreation Reserve as we continue the first half of the season, the Senol NPL competition for women, and it's 9th against 11th. And my first look at Melbourne Victory, they're under 23 side. They've joined the comp with Melbourne City this year. Of course, they've got teams in the A-League comp as well. So an opportunity for these girls to play at a pretty good level as they develop their skills. A lot of them have come from the Football Victoria emerging team of the last few years, who no longer exist, with the decision made by the competition in the off-season to give Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory the opportunity to play in the NPL. As John takes my photo, who's the photographer for Melbourne Victory. I wasn't meant to be involved, John, but thank you. Let's look at the two teams. Spring Hills, Ibrahim, Gillies, it's as it was last week. Toban, Antonello, Murakami, Darkic, Stringfellows, Sinclair. This is the starting lineup. Labno been magnificent as a recruit from America, and Amadondo. While De Silva's also in this team, the subs will be Murphy, number 6, Soto, 8, Aliyari, 14, Ramel, 15, Liberto, 17, and Kadua is the second goalkeeper. Melbourne Victory, Mackenzie, the goalkeeper, Bulick, Tam, Tarrant, the captain, Franku, Doveston, Iaria, who scored 4 times against Melbourne City in their only win in the last 5, O'Keefe, Miller, Rutkowski, Young, and the subs, Mule, Pickak, the second goalkeeper, Regev, and the twins, the Simic twins, Anastasia and Lucy, along with Bocci. So we'll be getting underway very, very shortly. As I say, big game for both teams, out of form at the moment. Victory were undefeated in their first 3, which included 2 wins and a draw. And the only win they've had is against Melbourne City, who are really battling second bottom side. Bentley is the bottom side. And they beat them 5-1. They've scored in every game, bar one. And they're yet to produce a clean sheet, this young team. While Spring Hills were going well, would have dropped 3 of the last 4. They've lost their best player, Margot Clark, or one of them, with a knee injury that'll keep her out for between 8 to 10 weeks. And I was told last week Olivia Anderson had a knee injury. I think her relatives come up to me tonight and said it's ligament damage in her ankle, and she's out for about 12 weeks. So she'll get back later in the season as well. So a couple of important members of their side missing tonight. Victory also have out of their squad Ella O'Grady, another one who's eligible. It's up to 23 or under. Same with Melbourne City, a bit like it was with the Football Victoria emerging team. And that was a great concept because they'd play for 3 or 4 years, get used to football at a pretty good level, and then go off to other teams, or if they're good enough, be picked up by the W League clubs. But O'Grady is one player not playing tonight. Terech is another one who's been a pretty good player at this level, but also a good player at the W League level, of which he was the Golden Boot winner for Western Sydney Wanderers last year in his second stint at that club. And Saveska's in the squad as well. They play tomorrow, Melbourne Victory. And Terecha, I should say, was playing at Box Hill, and they won a championship last year. And Saveska was the player that was at Western Sydney Wanderers. But we're looking forward to tonight's game. Good to see Alex Sinclair out there. She collapsed last week, but she's recovered nicely. Lavno is a star down back for the Spring Hills team. She scored a magnificent goal, a scissor kick goal last week. They rely on Sinclair a lot. Murakami's a good player, of course. Antonello with the pace out on the wing. And opposed to Franco, who scored a lot of goals in the under-17 competition for Victoria. So we're underway. And O'Keefe gets the first touch as she goes backwards. And they head to the outer side from where we're broadcasting from tonight. Trying to work their way through is the Spring Hills team. Held up as they've got to put it back through Murakami. And it's a through ball down the right-hand side. Good defence, though, by the Victory. And they put it over the sideline, where the sideline and the byline meet. It's going to be a throw as they're into attack to the western end. And again, it's out, and it's a Spring Hills ball in the opening couple of minutes. So 9th on the table, 4 wins, 4 losses and a draw. 17 goals for, 17 goals against for Spring Hills. Try and control it to keep it inside the attacking half, the home team. Now it's in the middle of the pitch. Controlled nicely by Tarrant. Goes forward again. And almost getting a touch on that was Doveston, who was the captain in the last year of Football Victoria Academy. Ibrahim receives it. Goes to Lavno. Goes wide now to Darkic, such an important member of this team. Gets it almost to halfway. Nearly a turnover. Good work by the Victory. Under pressure. They almost get a through ball. But getting it back nicely, Sinclair cuts it off. But down the left-hand side go Victory. A high ball towards halfway again. The defence very good. Looking to get back was Bulick. And she's pushed down by Antonello, who's very, very quick. She's got the goalkeeper to beat, who thrusts her foot out magnificently. Then Mackenzie. Antonello was so quick, she was still not quite goal side, but she just got past her opponent with ease. But a great stop, thrusting the boot out by the goalkeeper Mackenzie. So a shot on target, saved by Victory in the first couple of minutes, as a long ball comes from Tam towards their attacking half. Getting a through ball, but not quite getting enough on it was Miller. And the defence of Spring Hills puts it over the sideline. 2.5 minutes almost gone. And we're here, of course, the Senol NPL women's competition. And it's great to be here. Thrown back into play. Stringfellow gets a hurried boot on that. But Victory keep it inside their attacking half. Good play, Franco, combining with O'Keefe, who's been at the club since he was 10 years old. Crossing ball, beat Ibrahim. That was good play by Victory. And lucky that it skidded away. And they got a touch on that. Spring Hill, so it's going to be a Victory ball. And it will be taken by the captain, Tarrant. We'll be looking to drill that long with the first of the corner kicks for the evening, right in front of the scoreboard. It's 0-0. Outstanding save by Mackenzie. That's a deep ball, arriving late. Couple of Victory players, they weren't able to get anywhere near it. Working hard is Franco. She does well on the edge of the 18-yard box. And then it's put over the sideline by Spring Hills again. Towards the 18-yard area. Looking to control it, not able to. Back now to Franco. Franco a through ball. Good ball towards the top of the penalty box again. Doverston finds her teammate who has been hotly pressed out wide now to Tarrant. Tarrant does well. The teammate she was looking for before was Miller. And now Spring Hills clear it, but well played by Tam, the defender, to get up well inside the attacking half. Her pass is chopped off though by Stringfellow. Here's the racehorse, Antonello. Puts it in the middle of the park now. They're looking to get it inside. This was Gillies. Good ball, but coming outside the 18-yard area and pushes it away brilliantly as Mackenzie has shown great judgment so far. Now Victory, a chance to get it inside the attacking half. Miller beaten to the punch though by Darkic. Ball comes out the back now and it's offside. Murakami had just gone out the back there, but she was offside. And it's still 0-0. And we've been playing nearly 5 minutes. And the first decent shot on goal came from Antonello. Now the defence under pressure. Tam goes back now to the left-hand side. Through the middle now, Miller shoves it on nicely. Through ball now. But getting on the wrong side is O'Keefe. She beats one, she beats two. And then she puts it onto the chest of Jenna Ibrahim, who's on the left-hand side. She was certainly very pacey on that occasion. Long high ball from Ibrahim. Towards halfway, Gillies is there. She tried to hack it away. She couldn't. Tan's in the road there with a lovely little header. It's now inside the attacking half as it bobbles around. Gillies couldn't get there. Doing well to try and get control of it was Young for the Victory, but she isn't able to keep hold of it. It's won by Darkic, but another turnover. Trying to get it to Miller, but Darkic in the road. That's a good contest early days, and she concedes the ball over the sideline. Back goes Victory. Just inside the attacking half. Turnover again for Stringfellow. And it ricochets off feet from Victory. And Spring Hills have it inside the attacking half. Players getting back now for Victory. And it's inside the attacking half now. Sinclair's there. I thought maybe the sideline eye could have got on the road then. Back to halfway. Lavno gets after her opponent, who does well. Good pass out wide now to Franco. Franco goes for looking for to get the ball inside if she can to Doverston, who started all of this inside the attacking half. Out to Doverston now. She turns Stringfellow inside out. Ball comes back now. She couldn't quite get hold of it. O'Keefe, the youngster. Won on this occasion by Antonello. Hotly pressed by Tarrant. Turnover inside the attacking half. Victory. Well played by Franco as she got it from Young. Here's a chance now outside the left-hand side for Iaria, who's a very handy goal scorer. And she had a couple of cracks at it, but she hits the side net as she was on the left-hand side. And it'll be brought back into play by Jenna Ibrahim, who's had 2 clean sheets so far this year. It is 0-0, and we're nearly 8 minutes into the first half. Jenna Ibrahim. At the school end. Miss kicks that. Turnover at halfway. Couldn't quite control it though. Was Miller. They have to get out the back now as they're on the rebound here. Spring Hills. Murakami brought to ground. The ref said it was legal. Here's Tarrant under pressure with Sinclair. Did well to just back heel it before Sinclair could pounce. Tam's ball's turned over. Good play inside the attacking half by Murakami, but the defenders get back for victory. And Mackenzie's been good so far with that magnificent save inside the first 3 minutes. They charge down the left-hand side now. Victory. Pass inside. Miller. Darkic is minding her, as I said, and down that right-hand side there is nothing on the end of that. And Mackenzie leaves her 18-yard box and will distribute by foot. To Tam again. Tam trying to control the ball with Murakami, confronting her. And back down to Mackenzie. Murakami keeping her honest. Goes wide again. Back now from Bulick. They have to work hard. Franco gets back to support, and her teammates in there as well, O'Keefe. Goes wide now. Back to Bulick. Bulick down the left-hand side. And then good defence, though, right on halfway by Sinclair. But Victory have control of the ball. Inside the first 10 minutes, the Senol NPL women's competition. Important match tonight. Round 10. Getting towards the halfway mark of 26 for the season with a 14-team comp. Down the left-hand side again. Spring Hills and Bulick having trouble controlling it in defence for the Victory. Tom Markowski, who does just about everything here, including being chief bottle washer at the Spring Hills Football Club. Back into play. Sinclair gets a little touch on it. And again, it's over the sideline once more. All the play on the outer side of the pitch at the moment. Doesn't help me in my eyes, but anyway. A man has to do what a man has to do, or a person has to do what a person has to do. Lovely to be here tonight. Goes very deep. Bulick combining with Mackenzie, the goalkeeper. Gets it down on that left-hand side again. Looking to try and clear the Spring Hills defence, which is well up. All bar Labno, who's inside the defensive half. They're all inside the attacking half for the home team. Looking to maybe pounce on something that might be errant from the boots of the young Melbourne Victory team. Headed away, but over the sideline by O'Keefe. And back into play. For Spring Hills, a high ball. They just clear it outside the 18-yard area. Melbourne Victory getting a little touch on it. It's Franco. But good defence again. Back to Darkic. She's gone inside the defensive half now. After her opponent Miller. Turned over though by Tan. Not quite though. Antonella gets a little boot on that to keep it well inside the attacking half. Tarrant's under pressure. Sinclair's right with her. That's a great battle between two very good players. And I have a feeling that Tarrant of the Victory got it last. No, it was actually Sinclair touched it last. So Tarrant, wobbly throw, looking for Miller. Labno's at the back. She had it. She lost it. Good pressure by Tarrant. Gillies arrives and lends support now to Darkic. On a hammer and tack, those Miller has to go back to Ibrahim. Sinks the right boot into it, floating ball. Lovely header, getting it right in the middle of the scone then was Tam. Turnover by Stringfellow. Couldn't control it, needs more support. Well played by Gillies to get a little touch on that. Now Melbourne Victory win it inside the attacking half. Darkic does well, she attacked it hard. But Tam, the opposite number, turns it over for Melbourne Victory. Gets close to the line. Tarrant keeps it alive. And then Stringfellow, I reckon that was out. Definitely out. A little bit like one of the decisions last night in the AFL where I'm sure that Chad Warner was out. But anyway, they still got beaten by 10 goals. The Doggies. Back into play now. Tarrant wearing the armband, which is the captain's armband. Stringfellow there, and then Lavno Miss Reliable with her brilliant defensive play, then kicked that, or scored that magnificent scissor kick goal last week. Scored 2 goals so far. Into play once more. Tarrant gets a couple of cracks at it. Chance to be cleared by Gillies, who put an opponent down as she charged her way through. Now, I wonder whether she had intention on the ball. Her opponent just unfortunately was collateral damage in the road. But there's going to be a free kick. It's not a penalty because it's outside the 18-yard area, but Doverson's the one that's come up second best for Melbourne Victory. One of 9 players from the Football Victoria Academy that played last year. As I say, I don't think Gillies did a lot wrong. She had her eye on the ball, but she just brought her opponent down. Labno. Tarrant playing well. Kicks it straight into the body of Toban. First time we get a look at her. Toban with the knee bandaged. Turnover though. Well played by Young. Gets it back now. And good defence by Bulick, but gives it straight to an opponent. Through ball by Stringfellow. Murakami's there. Couldn't make good of it. And put back by the Melbourne Victory team to Mackenzie. He's been good so far. Through ball. What were the defenders of Spring Hills doing? Luckily, the passes didn't really stick from the Victory, but they go wide. Well controlled here by Miller. Magnificent trap. Now she'll go long. Looking for someone to get on the end of it, but not able to. It's well stopped at the back by Ibrahim. And they go down that right-hand side. That loping run, that familiar gait of Darkage. And there must have been a player offside. It was very high up, to be honest. They were just over the attacking half then. We are into the 15th minute of the first half. No scorers yet. Spring Hills nearly scored inside the first 3 minutes. But a magnificent save by Mackenzie. Trying to clear it, Spring Hills. Ricochets into the middle of the park. Gillies. Long ball down to Antonello. Now quick shears, but she's not goal side. And it's over the sideline. Just had a bit too much on it by Gillies, but the idea was right. Good play by Tarrant, who's been good so far. Inside ball. Labno arrives. She's inside the attacking half. Goes for a pass to Toban, who's a bit flat-footed. And Toban goes after Mackenzie, who's got to kick it under immense pressure. Gets it towards Tan, who gave it back to her. Tan goes for a pass inside. Her teammate Doverston goes down and will get a free kick. Doverston in short and in close. O'Keefe getting back. Bulick back to O'Keefe. Almost at halfway. The girl from Wangaratta. Long through ball. On the outside, Iaria looking to come inside. She's quick, but the ball beats her over the sideline. Or byline, I should say, and it was an opportunity for Iaria to try and come inside her opponent in regard to getting on goal side, but she wasn't able to. Good defence by Spring Hills, and we remain at 0-0 in the 17th minute. Little pass to Darkic from Ibrahim. Good ball down the right-hand side by Sinclair, but the defence gets back again to Mackenzie, who's left the 18-yard box a bit and thrust the right foot at it, but is just a little bit inaccurate with the pass as it finds the sideline. Young getting back for the Melbourne Victory side, headed away by O'Keefe, bobbles around. Franco's there, not able to get involved though, waiting for it maybe to spill out. Good work by Gillies. She's quite a robust player. Put back by Doverston. Franco waits for it. Hanging off her is Stringfellow. Goes wide now to Tarrant. Tarrant though couldn't quite control it. Antonello, good harassment and haranguing. There's Izzy Stringfellow, a very keen Western Bulldog supporter. Goes down the left-hand side. Here's Antonello now. She wants to get goal side. She does get goal side. Tarrant after her. Sets it up to the top of the 10-yard box. It nearly got away from Mackenzie, but she pounced on it. And that's two great saves to Chloe Mackenzie. Gets it now towards Franco. Has Stringfellow for company. Goes inside. Turnover now to Toban. Toban a good ball to Murakami. He scored 3 times this year. Murakami's pass didn't quite find the target. Push down the right-hand side. Sinclair then kicks into bodies as they got their numbers back. Then Melbourne Victory, very disciplined. Goal side on the edge of the 18-yard area. We're in the 19th minute. It's still 0-0, but they've had a couple of cracks out at Spring Hills. The Melbourne Victory team defending well through Mackenzie. Yet to have a clean sheet this year. Through ball now. Doveston didn't get to her. Sinclair ricochets away. Got some work to do at the back. And they managed to prevail here, the Victory team. Good play by Young. Got it out wide. Pass now to O'Keefe. O'Keefe to Bulick, who was caught napping a bit, but she eventually gets it back to Mackenzie. Pushes it forward to Miller. And then down the left-hand side. Now it comes to O'Keefe, who's been busy as a midfielder in the middle of the pitch. Gets it to Miller. Turned over brilliantly by Gillies. Now to Murakami. Pass out wide. Here's an opportunity here for Stringfellow. She shoots. But in there on the right-hand side once more is Mackenzie, who's been absolutely magnificent. The third save she's made tonight. It was sort of in her direction. It was on target. But Mackenzie was awake to it on that right-hand post there. Set up for it. Spending a lot of time inside the defensive half, the Victory at the moment. Mackenzie in the defence holding up well. Tarrant and Tam and Bulick. And the aforementioned Tam's got it now from Mackenzie. Tries to find Franco, but Stringfellow whips in. Goes back now to Lavno. Such a good player, Lavno. And she'll have to defend to Ibrahim. And they were all covered further up the pitch. Gets the pass out wide now. Good through ball by Darkic, but a turnover at halfway. Here's Doveston. A good player, tall player, on the ball nicely. But Tarrant was beaten by Antonello, who's on goal side. We know how quick she is. Nice little ball. Gets it towards her teammate, Arredonda. And then it goes back now to De Silva. Down that right-hand side. Turnover at the back again by the Melbourne Victory side. They'll go high and long again, but nothing on the end of it. And Lavno was standing defensive side for Ibrahim to clean up. She hasn't really had the amount of work that Mackenzie's had so far, but they haven't put it in the back of the net, Spring Hills. Under some pressure as they try and control it here, and Stringfellow misses it maybe deliberately from the Toban pass, of which Tarrant goes back now to Tam. Tam into the middle now to the talented O'Keefe. Pushed on by Miller, and she might have been pushed into it as well. Ball goes back now to Bulick. She's protecting Mackenzie, the goalkeeper. And Bulick goes now to Tam again, who'll go long and deep. Getting on the attacking side, Iaria. Trying to get a little boot on it, Franco. Stringfellow having a good battle with her. Antonello approaches inside the defensive half. Right with her, Tarrant. Some great one-on-one battles so far. Antonello through ball. Toban. Sinclair the great. She's inside the defensive half. Good ball down to Murakami. She'll want to get goal side if she can. Bulick trying to worry her out of it. Good work by Murakami. She controls the ball with a couple of back heels. What a back heel that was. A look-away pass to Sinclair. Sinclair inside the 18-yard area. Franco with it for company. Cleared at the back, but only as far as Murakami. And then a shot made by Antonello was off target and sails over the crossbar. But, gee, they're having a decent crack. And the ball's living inside their attacking half and deep in their attacking half at the moment, Spring Hills. And I dare say their coaching staff would be annoyed as we approach the halfway mark of the first half, and it's 0-0. Little pass to Mackenzie. Again, their defending well in their attacking half at the moment, putting a bit of pressure on Mackenzie as they're approaching her when she's trying to distribute. Now they have it in the middle through Miller. Good play for the victory. Out wide now to Franco. Franco on Stringfellow. Franco tries to push it away. Stringfellow's goal side though defending. And then well played by Franco to just push a little ball up to the right-hand goal post and comfortably taken along the carpet. Vacuuming it up is Jenna Ibrahim. She'll go high and long. Floating ball to halfway. Header is okay by Sinclair, but cleared at the back by Bulick. Tarrant has Antonello right with her. Not sure what to do. Has to go back to go forward to Bulick again. Bulick goes wide. Long ball, which goes out, unfortunately, for the victory team. And it came from the boot of Young, who has to get back inside the attacking half. Headed away. Hurry boot Doverston. Pushed on again. Iari up, beats one, beats two, gets on the edge of the 18-yard area, up to the goal mouth now, shooting but shooting into bodies. Good attempt on that occasion by the victory, but great defence by Spring Hills. O'Keefe gets it again, under some pressure. Doverston inside once more. Can Iaria score? She can! She can! They attacked hard, and in the end they got it in a very dangerous position between the 18-yard box and also the goal mouth, the 10-yard goalkeeper's box, and she puts it away in the left-hand corner. Lovely goal by Iaria, her fifth of the campaign. And well played by Victory. We're in the 25th minute, and they're in front. Can you believe that? Spring Hills have done all the attacking, controlled the game. Mackenzie's had to make 4 unbelievable saves, and her team's in front. Good play right on halfway for the Melbourne Victory to again pick the pocket of Spring Hills. Great pass, Tam, down to O'Keefe. Iaria's there once more, has to go back, looking to push the ball past the defenders who've also sagged back for Spring Hills. Good ball to Young, inboard ball. She's got nothing on offer. So goes back right on halfway to Tam, who receives again from O'Keefe. Tam through ball once more. On the ball is Tarrant, under some pressure. Has to retreat. Finds Young. Young inside once more. O'Keefe does well. Cool, calm and collected, these young girls. Tam back to O'Keefe. O'Keefe, a nice little lobbing ball. Finds Miller. Miller gets it wide. Can Tarrant keep it alive? No, she can't. Front of the scoreboard. We're in the 26th minute. The Senol NPL women's competition. Round 10 tonight. 16 rounds to go before the finals. Here's an opportunity for Franco. Can't control it. Miller can. Dangerous play, Young. Young turns one away from her, then goes wide now, back to Franco, can score a goal. We saw in the Under-17 Championships for Victoria. Good ball up to the 18-yard area, headed away, and then having a shot. She had a clean look at it, but put too much on it, and it goes over the crossbar. And that came from Doverston. The defence did well then to get a defensive header away. But there were too many Melbourne Victory girls set up as a wall on the edge of the 18-yard area. Lavno couldn't get much on that. They've had a good few minutes. Victory, they've scored a goal as well. Sinclair has to go back to Lavno now. And we know she's a good kick on the left. She slices the ball, which is taken by Antonello. Goes inside to Toban. Standing her ground is Tam. Now it gets to halfway. A chance now for Arredondo. Arredondo down that right-hand side. Looking to get a pass inboard. She does. It's pushed on again. But here's a chance now. But good clearance by Mackenzie. and she pushes it wide once more, saving the day on numerous occasions. Stringfellow approached her hard, and she just wasn't able to get it past her, lob it over her, and Mackenzie electing to take it on and almost get outside the 18-yard box, where all she can do, of course, is kick it away. But she's holding her ground nicely. Done a magnificent job to ensure that her team is either not behind or at least level with them at the moment. And they've got one goal themselves through Iriara, who scored 4 times against City a few weeks ago. They're only winning their last 5. She's in the senior squad, of course. Quite a few headers and nodders on that occasion. Now right on halfway, defensively, is Lavno. That pass is turned over, though. Good ball, Doveston, liking her game at the moment. And her teammate is put down. Little pass wide. Tam, approached by Murakami, trying to keep her honest. Bulick. Miller has to go back. Tam again, just sharing it. One side of the pitch to the other in their defensive half. Bulick a through ball again. Iriara is so important, but she couldn't quite control that. And it's over the sideline. If she can get out the back onside, she's got some wheels and also some magic to be able to come through the 18-yard area and get past the defenders. So Stringfellow, who is also quick, runs up and down the pitch. As they say in the AFL, she's an excellent two-way runner. Bella Stringfellow, part of a big Western Bulldogs family, except her old man who follows Collingwood. Won't hold that against him. Going a bit better than the Dogs anyway. Season's falling apart at the moment. Anyway, neither of these two teams' seasons are falling apart, although they're sort of just hanging on for dear life. 9th and 11th on the table. Good play by Darkic to get involved. Murakami misses it at the back. Good defence again by Tam, who's been one of the better players on the pitch so far. Down that left-hand side. Controlled nicely by Miller in the long sleeves. But, she overcooks the pass. Murakami's there, forcing her teammates to work hard. Murakami on the outside. Great effort by Bulick to try and bring her down. She worked very, very hard to run her down as Murakami was outside Bulick on that occasion, but magnificent effort. The defence pretty good so far from the Melbourne Victory, particularly the goalkeeper. I've sung her praises a few times, Mackenzie. Getting back now, Miller to Tam, to Bulick. Bulick going down that left-hand side. Good ball. Doveston kept it going. Iriara again, looking to come past her opponent. Pushes inside the 18-yard area. Up to the top of Doveston, who puts it away. In fact, Miller, who puts it away into the left-hand corner. Iriara set it up brilliantly, and Doveston was on her own again for the second time. She missed the first, she got the second. And it's 2-0 Melbourne Victory. Excellent start here. And Miller was the one that put it away. Doveston was there. They were all on their own inside the 18-yard area. Miller in the long sleeves, of course. She's had a good battle with Darkic. You could say she's in front, so some work for Spring Hills to do. I think Tom Markowski will be disappointed because they've had that many opportunities. Mackenzie saved Victory a few times, but they've dominated inside the attacking half. They've had much more possession, monopolised territory. Headed away again by Stringfellow. It's bobbling around. It's dangerous. Good play by Doveston again. She goes back now to Young, to Franco. Franco wide. Tarrant, through ball. Cut off though. Good defence down the left-hand side, Toban. Murakami. Taken off her by Tam, who's been great. Young works hard, but was shoved off it by Toban, and it's going to be a victory ball. So it's 2-0. Tam with the ball, well inside the attacking half. And we are into the 33rd minute. Small wall. It's Murakami. We'll see what Tam can do. Portia Tam. Long ball towards the 18-yard area. Headed away on that left-hand side, but missing. Victory. Doveston. Long high ball. Ibrahim at halfway. Headed down. Good defence by the Victory players who's doing all the attacking at the moment. The heading has been very, very good, particularly by Tam in their defensive half. One by Tarrant. Through ball again. Clever play by Doveston, who's been very, very good. The last goal scorer, Miller, kicks into bodies. And it is over the byline. Going to be a corner kick here for Melbourne Victory, who lead 2-0 against Spring Hills, who are now in the negative with their goal difference. -2. It's a big game for both teams tonight. Spring Hills 9th on the table. Dropped 3 of their past 4. And we'll see what Tam can do with this. She goes direct, trying to get a header in there. It was low, but not able to. The Victory, and then Ibrahim had to pounce on it quickly. Pass is okay, but nearly gets turned over as Toban wasn't able to get complete control of it. They're losing a lot of the battles at ground level, but here is Stringfellow as she charges down that right-hand side. Gets a nice ball to Murakami. Murakami lobs in the direction of Antonello, who was a bit flat-footed. O'Keefe clears at the back momentarily. Good play by Doveston, loving her game at the moment. Whether it be back or forward, candidate to get the votes at the end of the night. Through ball again down the left-hand side for Victory once more. Doesn't get to Iaria. It's stopped by Stringfellow, who's been pretty solid in recent weeks playing down back for Spring Hills. Turnover again. Doveston looking to find her way through. In fact, it was Young looking to find her way through. Touching ball. Didn't get enough on it, unfortunately, for Victory. And that was Miller with a deft little touch too off the edge of the boot. Long high ball. Tam just gets it halfway from Ibrahim. O'Keefe does nicely. The partner in crime with her then was Rutovsky, who's been solid down back as well on the other side of the park. Young is there. Murakami. Here she is, Sinclair. Sinclair charging long and high. And it was a good ball, but being on target, it had to get past the goalkeeper, and it just didn't quite have enough on it and enough pace on it. Mackenzie was able to gobble it up inside the 10-yard area. Another shot on target for Spring Hills, but again, they're not successful. But Sinclair showing her explosive pace, the veteran. Looking to try and clear Rutovsky. Good through ball this time. Charging away. Looking to try and work it nicely. Beating one Iriara. Magnificent again. Just a bit too quick, aren't they? And she worked her way towards the 18-yard area, but the left foot pass floated over the crossbar. So it's 2-0 in favour of Melbourne Victory. Here's Ibrahim. Target Sinclair. Nice little header. Stopped at the back by Bulick. Good ball to Tarrant. Goes back now to Tam. Tam, a through ball to O'Keefe. And now Young. Young goes back to Bulick, who's the most defensive player on the park outside for her team anyway. As Tam gets back now, makes a liar of me. Mackenzie, the goalkeeper there. Sharing it with Mackenzie. This Tam is Murakami. They were so good at getting into the face of their opponents in the first 20 minutes, Spring Hills. That's sort of dissipated. Through ball now. Here's a chance for Stringfellow. Stringfellow in the 18-yard area. Gets it past Mackenzie. She got on goal side and she charged her way down the right-hand side. And they were left flat-footed, Melbourne Victory. It's 2-1. They finally convert, and haven't Spring Hills had some opportunities. Bella Stringfellow is so quick, and she did a magnificent job on that occasion to virtually be one-on-one with the goalkeeper and put it away. Although there's a little bit of a chat with the lines person about whether that ball might have been offside when she received it, Stringfellow. Certainly, no, I think it's a goal. They had a discussion, of course. Or is it offside? No, it is offside. It's been called offside. That magnificent individual run by Bella Stringfellow. And Alex Sinclair's not happy about it. Daniela Toban as well. Tom Markowski, well, he'll be blowing a gasket on the sideline, the coach and the president of this club. So it's 2-0. Goal taken off Spring Hills. Long high ball. One of the great individual efforts of the season. And it doesn't count. It's like when a bowler bowls the best ball he's ever bowled and he steps over the mark and it's a no ball in cricket. Long throw by Victory. Good defence though by Gilly. She's been solid. Miller attacks, but too many Spring Hills players there. Through ball again. Under pressure. Trying to control it is Tarrant, who's been good. Giving support to Tam, the centre back, having an outstanding game. Lobbing ball out wide. Stringfellow gets in the road and hacks it down. Sinclair was pushed over. Through ball doesn't quite come off. Couldn't quite get it, Bulick. She had it run down. Arredonda did well then, but they still come up with the ball, winning a lot of it. Better passes, more fluidity from Melbourne Victory at the moment. That pass, though, run down by Stringfellow, who was denied a goal before because it was offside. The Melbourne Victory players made a case to the Lions person and also the ref, who agreed with them in the end. Mackenzie leaves her 18-yard box and combines with a nice little pass with Young. Young now looking to go wide, does. O'Keefe's been good. She zigzags her way. Toban gets a little touch on that. Played on again by O'Keefe, but she knows she's disappointed with that pass. Antonello got in the road. But then so does Tarrant, as they were looking to get a ball inside their attacking half Spring Hills for the pace of Antonello. What they do have, a couple of very pacey players, Spring Hills, and Antonello and also Stringfellow. Talking of which, she's charging through again. She's already done it once. She's definitely onside this time, Bella. But unfortunately, they get their numbers back. And well played by O'Keefe, who's been good as well. Through ball to O'Keefe once more. The captain, Tarrant, had a couple of cracks at that. Goes back to her now. Been chased by Antonello. And then finds Mackenzie, who almost had blotted the copybook. But that goal not given to Spring Hills. Late call on offside, very late call. In fact, it wasn't even a call. Protest by the Melbourne Victory girls. Here's a through ball now. Well played by Tarrant. She finds Tan again. Going after it quickly. but not getting there in time. Is Iaria. Another one who's quick for the Victory team. And Ibrahim's there to get in her road and hang on to it. Goes high, Jenna Ibrahim. Had a bit of work to do in recent times. The team's down 2-0. Nice little back heel from Sinclair to Murakami. But standing in her road is Tam, who's been wonderful. Young as well. Very good. Pushing into it is Miller. Down that left-hand side, Iaria. Well done by Labno. Comes across her path and puts it over the sideline. We're in the 43rd minute. The Senol NPL competition for women. And the under-23 Melbourne Victory team, their first year, had their ups and downs, unbeaten in their first three and well beaten in 4 of their next 5. 3-0. Big loss last week. The only time they have not scored this particular campaign. They don't have a clean sheet yet. Maybe tonight. Sinclair tried to head it. Now down the right-hand side. The two-way running specialist in Stringfellow has to try and beat a couple of opponents, but too many goal side defence-wise for Melbourne Victory, and they're able to clean it up. And it's kicked into bodies by the defence of the Victory. Goes back deep. Bulick. Tam backtracking. As the players push back for Spring Hill, she goes long and high. No one there, though. Who was that to? Stringfellow was there, and she might see that over the sideline. No, she doesn't. Back now to Ibrahim, inside her 18-yard area. Jenna Ibrahim in short to Lavno, one of the Americans from Arizona. Be hot there during summer. Just about to hit their summer. Down the right-hand side, Stringfellow again as we approach half-time. Well played by Murakami. She just kept it going. Does well. Here's Arredonda down that right-hand side. Gets inside the 18-yard area. Kicks into bodies again. It bobbles around. She overruns it. She has a third crack at it. She needed more support. Those white shirts of Victory were everywhere. And they get it down the left-hand side now. It's one-on-one. Lavno knows it. She's got to try and push her opponent wide. Iriara has a shot again. She was brilliant. She's a very good player. Knows how to score a goal, but Lavno was pretty good in that she made sure she had to do it the hard way and swing it in from the left. And Lavno was between Iriana and also Ibrahim to make it tough for Iriara to score a goal there. Scored one already. The team lead 2-0. Miller scored the other one. Nice header by Young. And then also slid on off the noggin by Darkic, but only as far as O'Keefe, who's cleaned up magnificently in the midfield so far for Victory. Tan goes back now to the light line boots of Bulick. They share it just inside the defensive half. She approaches the attacking half and boots it long. Iriara's there again. Was she offside? She just was offside. She got in behind, thinking it may come her way. Nearly a turnover. She was asleep to Silver as she was approached by Franco. Luckily, she got it to Sinclair, who lobs the ball down the left-hand side. And it is half-time. We had just over a minute of extra time, and it's Melbourne Victory 2. They lead Spring Hills 0, and Spring Hills had so many opportunities in that half. But Chloe McKenzie, particularly in the first 20 minutes, was magnificent the way she stopped the shots. There was a great goal produced by Stringfellow, charged down the right-hand side, and it was eventually called offside because the Victory girls weren't happy about the decision, and it got overturned. But great goals scored by Miller. And also, of course, by Iaria. I'll get her name right eventually, who came down that left-hand side and is causing all sorts of problems with her pace. Mind you, Stringfellow has been magnificent so far for the Spring Hills team. So half-time in the Senol NPLW Round 10 fixture. Big game here at Springside. And it is 2 Melbourne Victory, Spring Hills 0. Well, it's half-time at Springside, and a bit of drama here. It's 2-0 favour of Melbourne victory, despite the fact that there was a goal scored, and Alexander Sinclair still discussing that, I think, by Bella Stringfellow, I should say. And unfortunately for her, it was called offside when the Melbourne victory girls were talking about it. There's a change being made by both teams. So Sato is on for Darkic. It's like for like a bit, although Darkic, a more experienced player for the Spring Hills team. And a change being made by Victory as well. So these changes occurring at half-time. Tom Markowski has a history of doing that. Here's Iriara, who's a good player in the crimson boots. And Arredonda has the job on her. Long ball by Toban. Lovely header by Tam. She's been superb tonight. The score at 2-0. Working hard, the victory. O'Keefe. Doveston. Been very, very good. Mackenzie says, and he can bring it back to me, and she does. On the edge of the 18-yard area, the goalkeeper goes wide again. Tarrant, Doveston, through ball. Good turnover by Lavno. She just shoved her opponent off that. Trying to get involved, O'Keefe, not able to. Sinclair's there, stripped of it by Tarrant, but she was stripped of it by Stringfellow. Stringfellow down the right-hand side. Arredonda can't control it. Coming the other way is Miller. And then good work by Rammel. Another sub coming on at half-time for the Spring Hills team. Gets it down to Gillies. Gillies a through ball now to Arredonda. Sinclair. Stringfellow stripped of it by Doveston, playing well, but nearly taken away by Rammel. She just couldn't quite take the ball with her. She'd beaten Tam. And there's a late call, a shove against Toban with the knee bandage. O'Keefe was put down. Tarrant. Bulick. Back to Tarrant. Inside ball now to Young. Young zigzagging away across the pitch from one side to the other. Good ball. Franco pushes it on again. Inside the attacking half. Beating one, beating two, but a turnover again against the Melbourne victory. But the defenders are under the pump for Spring Hills inside the 18-yard area. Another turnover. Young traps it, but couldn't control it properly. Doveston gets into lend support. And Bocce's come on at half-time as well for Melbourne victory. So both teams making a string of changes. Nice throw. Lavno's there again. Close to the line. Trying to keep it alive was Miller. And it is over the byline. And it's going to be a corner kick. Another one for Melbourne victory. Have been the better side so far tonight. Scoring twice from their limited opportunities. Mackenzie was heroic, especially in the first half of the first half, if that makes any sense, in this Senol NPL women's competition. Lamb, low and flat. Hacked away for another corner kick by the Spring Hills defence. Most of them are back, bar Rammel. and Antonello's a little bit higher, just on the edge of the 18-yard area along with Stringfellow. The rest are virtually in the 10-yard box, like a little telephone booth. Great song by Ian Moss. Not much room in there to support the goalkeeper, Ibrahim. That ball's right to the teeth of goal. Wonderful save by Ibrahim. She stood tall. She showed great authority, and she said, "This is mine, ladies. I've got it." Kicks off the side of the boot, though, hoping it may get as far as Arredondo, who's been okay. Coming the other way is Franco. Does a good job. Down to Doverston. And then Bocci. Pushed on again. Good work by the Victory. And then, she's as tough as old boots. Labno, isn't she? And she charges into Miller and puts her down. Iaria did well too with a nice ball down that left-hand side in front of our commentary position. Headed away again from the throw by Spring Hills, and possession once more with Victory, lead 2-0. Nice low pass by Bocci. Miller back to Bocci on the edge of the 18-yard area. Young has to get it to Iaria. Iaria just works her way through an opponent once, twice, not three times a lady as in Tom Jones. Stringfellow does well. Now to Sinclair, those little legs pumping from the veteran. She's got a couple of opponents with her, forcing her to go wide. She looks to come inside. Bulick was a player right with her. Then she shoves off O'Keefe. She's still wide again. She shoves her off again. How good is Sinclair? Individual effort personified. In the end, too many defenders around her. Goes back to Rammel. Rammel a high ball. Headed away. Might have been a stud there against Spring Hills. Now they win a turnover. Iaria for Melbourne Victory. Into the middle of the park to Franco. Franco just manages to avoid Stringfellow. Back to Iaria. Into the body of Stringfellow. Parry and thrust. Down to Franco. Out wide to Miller. Miller has an opponent, Gillies, looking right at her, trying to force her wide. Well done by Gillies. Oh, but she gets through Miller up to the top of the goal mouth, but she didn't get enough aerial on that. She virtually nutmegged Gillies on that occasion, Miller, and Ibrahim saves the day again. 2-0 for Melbourne Victory. Hacking ball back inside the attacking half for Melbourne Victory. They have a couple of cracks at it, not able to control it. Now they get in charge. Push backwards to Tam. Good work at close quarters by the Victory. Involved there was Tarrant. Down that right-hand side. Tarrant again. Bulick will receive from Tan. She has to go back to Tan. Good pressure applied by Sinclair. Knowing Bulick may receive it again, she goes a little bit deeper and longer to Miller inside the attacking half. Has an opponent around her. Oh, she's too clever for Arredondo. Goes back now towards Doverston, who's had a great match for the Victory. Coming right at her was Rammel. She stopped and propped and put it wide again. 2-0 for the Victory, who go back now to O'Keefe. They get very deep, Spring Hills, at the moment, forcing them to try and work their way through the jigsaw puzzle. Here's Iriara again, up to the top of the 18-yard area, but waiting on that left goal post was Labno. Saves the day again, looking to clear it out of defence. Soto came on at half-time for Darkic. Manages to get a clearing ball, but again the wall's in the road for Victory. But a turnover once again, as Bulick got it once, and then again. She's sort of forming that wall, and then a quick kick through by Soto, but at the back there, who came on for Darkic at half-time, is Mackenzie. Goes wide again. Can Bulick keep it alive? It was a bit errant from Mackenzie, a turnover. Here's Arredondo. Gets on with it quickly to Sinclair. She traps it. No, she doesn't. Bulick trapped it off her own body. Down the right-hand side, Stringfellow hooks it, but didn't have enough hook or curl on it, and it misses to the right-hand side. It remains 2-0 Melbourne Victory, looking for their fourth win of the season to put a bit of pressure on Spring Hills, who are in 9th position and just a bit out of form at the moment. 2 home games in a row, and they would be disappointed if they couldn't get at least 1 point from this double header at home in consecutive weeks. Boroondara beat them 3-2 in a terrific match last week. They were up 2-1 and Boroondara scored twice in the second half. A team that struggled to stop goals but have been more than capable of scoring goals. A bit like Melbourne Victory. But they've also conceded some big goals as well. They were down -5 in goal difference going into today. High ball by Gillies to the 18-yard area. Players everywhere trying to clear it. And they managed to just clear the defensive area. The Victory comes back now to Lavno inside the attacking half. And her pass was pushed over the sideline by the Victory. And they get it back inside the attacking half again. Spring Hills, but that last little pass to the final third not quite working. Franco involved on that outer side, looking to help out. Tarrant was shoved off it, past her halfway again. Nearly going without it, Doverston. She's got a player there ready to take it, Iaria. Too good for Gillies, shoves her off. His Stringfellow is quick. Iaria's there again, but Stringfellow gets goal side and does wonderfully. And then Ibrahim says, I'm just going to put it over the sideline so we can reset. And she does. So Bocci with the ball will bring it back into play. The great number of 99. It's either her favourite number or it was the only one left in the dressing rooms. Easy to remember though. Bocci to the edge of the 18-yard area. Miller had opponents around her, couldn't trap it. And again up to O'Keefe. O'Keefe almost at the 18-yard area. The pass from Doverston has been very creative. And now under pressure trying to clear Sarto. Headed down again by Bocci defensively. Good play by Bulick. Gets it to Bocci. Good pass. Out wide Iaria, who's very, very dangerous. On the left, she shoots to the top of the 18-yard area, but arriving late. Well played by Sarto. Shoved off it again. They're very physical tonight, the Victory, forcing errors from the Spring Hills team. Good use of the body. And it sails over the sideline. Well played by Young, who's had a good match tonight too. Gillies just keeps it alive. Sinclair there. Getting in the road is O'Keefe for Victory. Back to Doverston. Could get in the votes tonight the way she's playing. And then having to go defensively with Arredondo right on a hammer and tack was Bulick. Back to the goalkeeper. McKenzie. That's a long floating ball. Great header by Bocci. Down to Iaria, who's so creative. To Young now. Oh, missed by Lavno. Makes a rare error. Franco received now from Doverston. She's stuck on the outside though as the defenders came across. Rare error by Lavno, not being able to stop that. She went for the fresh air. Going back now is Victory. Down the right-hand side, through ball. Franco again. Oh, she charges into an opponent, Lavno, who is as tough as nails. She virtually does the seesaw as she crashes over her. Careers into her, really. And it's a Victory ball. Working hard, both teams. Can't get control of it, Miller. Stringfellow. Just some of their passes not quite sticking after a very promising start. The heroics of Chloe McKenzie kept them out. Spring Hills, they're down 2-0. And we are in the 58th minute. They've got the ball at halfway, though. They just need to be a little bit better with it. The header is a good one. Trying to get there, Sarto. Comes out now to Stringfellow. Arredonda. Through ball now. Stringfellow once more. Just had a bit too much on it. Just trying to work out what happened there. Mackenzie took the ball, I thought, in the 10-yard box. My understanding is that she took it where she should have taken it. Well, let's see. I'm shaking my head. What's the issue? Because she was in the... For those that don't know, the goalkeeper, in my understanding, can take hold of the ball in the 18-yard area with her hands. What's the issue? There's a big discussion occurring right in the goal mouth there. It's going to be a free kick, and it'll go the way of Spring Hills. And you look at all the white shirts of Victory, they're right next to their goalkeeper, like they're at a school assembly. Or they're in the army waiting to have their boots tested to see if they're properly polished. This is incredible, this. She's about 3 metres away. Labno. I have to confirm what that free kick was for. I'm still shaking my head. It would be a magnificent goal because it's completely covered, the goal line. There's a couple of Spring Hill players there, but most of them, of course, are the Victory defenders. Every defender bar one is right on the goal line for Melbourne Victory. Can Lavno work her way through this maze? It would be an extraordinary goal. She scored one last week with a scissor kick to revive her team's flagging hopes in the 61st minute. Still shaking your heads as to what that free kick was for. Still learning the game, but to be honest, my understanding is that Mackenzie took that ball, what I could see, on the edge of the 10-yard box and the 18-yard box. And the ref, this is going to ensure that we get a lot of extra time here. They're still trying to decide whether they can have so many people in line. The Melbourne Victory. They're right on line with the goalkeeper. Can Labno score? They were running out after it. And now the ref says go again. There's a player on the outside of the right goalpost. Here's Labno. She shoots and she scores into the left-hand corner. An extraordinary goal. Still trying to work out what the goal was for. She had to go high, and she did, considering all those Melbourne Victory players were on the goal line with their goalkeeper, Chloe Mackenzie. Still without a clean sheet, Melbourne Victory, trying to work out what the goal was for, what the free was for. Astounding stuff. Well, it's 2-1. It could have been 2-2. Of course, that offside came in against Stringfellow. Overruled by the ref. So some work for Victory to do now. Bulick. Bocci, been okay since she came on. Back to Bulick. They're pressing now Spring Hills. Knowing another goal will be very handy for them. They're down 2-1. We're in the 63rd minute in the Senol NPL women's competition. Good ball by Rammel. Down to Antonello on the left-hand side, but she's stuck outside. Good defence again to go goal side by the Melbourne Victory team. Can't control it, Franco. But luckily, Spring Hill's got the last touch. So they're well inside their defensive half. Game of momentum here where one team controls possession and the territory, and then another team gets a chance. Here's Sinclair trying to burst her way through. Does well to retreat with opponents around her with wonderful skill. Stringfellow back to Lavno, scored a third goal of the campaign. Long ball by Stringfellow again. Bobbles around in the middle of the pitch, just inside the attacking half. For Victory. There's Lavno again. Goes straight down the guts. But in the road is Tarrant, the captain of this Melbourne Victory under-23 team. Nearly a turnover. Luckily they had numbers there. Well played at the back by Bulick. O'Keefe's there as well, but Arredonda chips in. She'll go wide to Sinclair, but good defence by Bulick to just slow it down, even though Spring Hills keep possession. 2-1, Melbourne Victory. Sinclair, couple of opponents hanging off her. Back inside the 18-yard area, kicks into bodies, gets another chance at it. And a shot by De Silva. It was a good ball. De Silva had clean air then and clean territory, but she just went a bit high. And the score remains at 2-1. A good ball again by Alex Sinclair with opponents putting immense pressure on her. She wasn't able to get the goal assist that she so much deserved there with that piece of play, because just went a bit high from the boot of De Silva. Now they charge out of defence again through Bulick, who's had a good match. Now to O'Keefe, who runs onto it again. Good ball by O'Keefe. Well done to get it in the direction of her teammate in the area. And then Bocci keeps running, gets goal side. It's off bodies! It's ricocheted off bodies and through for a goal. 3-1 Melbourne Victory. Was that an own goal or an accidental header? It's a goal anyway, and it's 3-1. Work again to do to try and get this point. It was miskicked. Just trying to confirm whether it might have been an own goal. Anyway, it's the 66th minute, and it's 3-1. Here's Lavno. She'll go long and high and just put the right boot into it, as she so often does. But Mackenzie's there to finish it. Pass close to O'Keefe, who's been very good tonight. Love the game of Bocci, very robust player since coming on. Arredonda beats her, though, to Toban. Back to Lavno, the fellow Americans. Lavno goes down, Toban goes down, and a good through ball again came from O'Keefe, but trailing her opponent in was Franco, and Jenna Ibrahim's at the back there. So the third goal from a header and a miss kick set up that header, as there was a nice nod by Bulick. He's had a great match. Through ball by Tarrant. Down now to Iaria, who's so dangerous. Good ball in the direction of Miller. Went a little bit too long, and Lavno was there to protect her goalkeeper, Ibrahim. And she just put the brakes on. She could have nearly cannoned into Ibrahim, who kicks off the side of the boot. In front of our commentary position. Sinclair is there. Heads it on again. Just inside the attacking half. Bulick nearly lost it to Stringfellow, but does retain possession and finds Young. Young a through ball. Lavno getting back again. Back to Ibrahim, who just kicks it high without even thinking about it. A nice nodder provided by Bocci, who's been pretty good, as I say, since she entered the phrase. Going to be another change here. And Young coming off for Melbourne Victory to be replaced by Mule, who has been captain of this side at times. So Catherine Mule coming in. And the change occurring in the 68th minute. Like the game of Young. See what Mule can do in the last 25 minutes or so. Here's Lavno. Almost halfway. Hacked back by Bocci. De Silva's there in the road again. Got put down by Miller. Should have nearly been a free kick as she cleared that ball. Love the game of O'Keefe. Very good on the ball, very creative. Bocci down that left-hand side. Miller's there now. Labno's with her. This will be a good encounter. Two pretty good players, very heady, canny players. Miller still controls the ball, but Labno's right with her. So goes back to Bocce, who's there to lend support. And she also is defending with her ball to O'Keefe. Back in the defensive half, in the direction of Bulick. Bulick now finds that teammate in Mule has just come on. Good play by Mule to just fend off a couple of opponents. Now a long ball down the right-hand side by Bulick, controlled by De Silva. Gets a little boot on it. Another turnover. Tarrant, who's been good too. They've had a lot of very good players. Franco, a bit quiet tonight, but wins possession. Tries to find Mule. Again, controlling it nicely. O'Keefe. Bocce. O'Keefe again. Franco beats one. Can't get around a second. Kicks into bodies. It rebounds towards the byline. But again, Franco's there from the kick that came from De Silva, but she was always going to be off target. She was virtually right on the byline. It would have been an extraordinary ball to centre it. And they did get the last touch, though. Spring Hill, so another corner for Melbourne Victory, who lead 3-1. There was that controversial goal early in this half, a free kick to Labno against Mackenzie. And then another goal to Melbourne Victory to give them a 3-1 lead. So, corner kick. Ibrahim knocks it away. It's still bobbling around. It was a beautiful corner kick, actually very deep. They're under pressure. Ibrahim's there again. She's beaten once, twice, 3 times. A lady. And Miller finishes it off. It was scrambling everywhere. And they just couldn't clear it, Spring Hills. Miller produces a brace. Melbourne Victory, I reckon, are home. They lead 4-1 again. Just a lot happening in the goal mouth. They couldn't get a decent touch on it, Melbourne Victory, and Spring Hills couldn't clear it. Ibrahim was beaten a couple of times, and in the end, Miller was able to get it past her to give her team a 4-1 lead. I'd say an unassailable 4-1 lead. Would be their second best performance, and Spring Hills just battling away, missing their most attacking player, best attacking player in Margot Clark. Here's Gillies, down now to Sinclair, who's onside. But gee, she's played a great game tonight, Bulick. Sinclair tries to get away from her. Bulick does well. They nearly bring each other down. There won't be a free kick there. Sinclair's involved. Good work by Bulick, and then it's eventually shoved over the byline for a rare corner kick for Spring Hills. And the captain, Tarrant, who leads by example, lent her teammate Bulick wonderful support as it was 2-on-1 in the end, where Sinclair also got a little bit of reinforcement. So Gillies taking the corner kick. We're in the 72nd minute. It's 4-1. That was a tremendous passage of play in the goal mouth for Melbourne Victory. And in the end, just not being able to clear it by Spring Hills. It was finished off brilliantly by Miller. Low ball. It bounces away in the 18-yard area from the corner kick. Soto gets a little ball on it. Gillies pushes it over the byline, but her opponent just managed to touch it first in Tarrant. So another corner kick. She'll be looking to get a little bit more height and elevation and curl on this one, Rachel Gillies. 4-1 Melbourne Victory. An impressive performance this. Mackenzie made some great saves early, gave them confidence. They didn't have much of the ball in the first 20 minutes. That's long and deep, but probably not as deep as they wanted it to be. Labno was outside the 18-yard area and has a ping, but again, it's too high. It's been their issue a bit with some shots that have been a little bit too high. Yari gets a little bit of sustenance right near us. They have it defensively. Bulick. Mackenzie. Back to Bulick. Bocce lending support in the defensive half. Goes inside now to Mule. Good ball by Mule to O'Keefe. Down the left-hand side, Iaria. Cuts inside again. A chance for Davison, but she mightn't get there in time. Ibrahim does. Just throws the right boot at it. Hacked by Mule again. Then Goodson's coming on. Stringfellow works pretty hard. Bocce comes the other way. Opposed to Arredonda. Sinclair's there again. But well done by Mackenzie to clear that as Sinclair comfortably beat Bulick in that battle one-on-one. This is outside the 18-yard area. Here's Gillies in those colourful boots. Looking for Sinclair. O'Keefe claiming that Sinclair touched it last, but according to the sideline eye, it was Poppy O'Keefe that touched it last. And here's Gillies again. 4-1, under the pump at the moment. Melbourne victory looking good. Players getting back. Here's the Aria. Gillies does well to put a bit of pressure on it. Goes back now. Love the game of O'Keefe. Finds Miller. Scored twice. Goes back towards the 18-yard area defensively. Bulick, another one who's had a huge match. Tam as well has done everything right. Nearly gets it to halfway. Spring Hills just managed to turn it over, but only momentarily. Doverston, another one. It's going to be hard to give the votes. Miller just dancing around on her own, prancing. Stringfellow approaches. Mackenzie, who nearly lost control of that, and it would have been Stringfellow onside to put that away, but she couldn't do it. Won by Miller now. Going to ground, unfortunately, Bocce. They win the ball back through Stringfellow, but she's offside. She's just offside. And she was charging away from Bulick. And it could have been a one-on-one exchange there with Mackenzie. Could have, should have, would have. If you only had whiskers, she'd be your uncle. As the ball sails through. And it's taken at the back by Ibrahim. 4-1, and we're now into the 76th minute. Long ball by Ibrahim. Well met by Antonello. Through ball again. Won a lot more possession in this second half victory. Franco and Doverston. Franco again gets the ball and beats off a couple of opponents. Mule was there, but she couldn't get her boot on ball there for victory, but right on halfway again. Tarrant, very cool, calm and collected. Turnover straight away. Arredonda has her opponent again goal side. That is Bulick. Arredonda once more, but well played by Bulick. Comes across her path and puts it over the byline for another corner kick in front of the scoreboard. 4-1. They don't normally get beaten by big margins, Spring Hills, but this is one at the moment. Sinclair, floating ball to the 10-yard box. The defenders are there and they just clear it quickly. Well hacked away on the half volley brilliantly by Aria. Down to Mule. On the right-hand side, Doverston. They run now brilliantly through Tarrant. Tarrant, a chance inside the attacking half. But well stopped by Stringfellow. In fact, it's De Silva who picked a pocket. But again, another turnover inside the last third has been a real issue for Spring Hills tonight. That was a wonderful piece of work by De Silva, but she couldn't finish it off. Doverston kicks into the bodies of Gillies, but at the back, cleared by Stringfellow again. But on halfway, the header by Bulick is very good. O'Keefe, there's at least 5 or 6 in contention for the votes. Another one is Tam, who set it all up early with her defensive work. Through ball again. Gillies couldn't get there. Iaria as well, who was certainly very wide. And it's going to be a Spring Hills ball. 4-1. We're into the 78th minute. An extraordinary goal by Labno was a penalty right on the edge of the 10-yard box, and all of the Melbourne Victory defenders, bar one, were in a line next to the goalkeeper Mackenzie after the free went against her, or the penalty went against her, just on the edge of the 10-yard box. Player went down, Iaria, but she's okay now. She just will get some treatment over this sideline momentarily. It's going to be a Spring Hills ball. Gillies, too long for Arredonda, and Miller just shoves her away. The ref let it go. Could have nearly been a free kick. Good ball, Doverston. O'Keefe into bodies, but rebounds back to her. Down the line again, Bocce. Bocce gets it defensively to Bulick. Mackenzie back to Bulick. It had plenty on that particular pass, but Bulick does well. Bocce inside now to O'Keefe. Getting back. Putting some pressure on was Lavno. Luckily, she had a teammate there to lend her support in Toban. And Arredondo couldn't control it in the push and shove encounter with Bocce. There might be another change about to occur here for Spring Hills. Players that have come on have generally offered plenty. Or, yes, there's a change occurring. Antonello coming off. And Roshan Murphy has scored the first goal of the season coming on. And Asado coming off. She's only been on for 20 minutes. Doesn't happen very often. So another change being made by Spring Hills. Down the left-hand side, Miller. Franco, Miller again. Franco was, she was over this sideline there, no doubt about that. So they might have made the last of their substitutions, Spring Hills. And we've got just over 10 minutes remaining. 4-1 the score. Gillies, who's battled hard, looking for Stringfellow. Couldn't get the header on it. Tarrant's there. Through ball, Doveston. She's hurt herself a little bit as she was clamoured into by a Spring Hills opponent. Through ball, though, cleaned up at the back by Ibrahim. Livito's come on. She's an exercise scientist who coaches the younger players at the Spring Hills Club. She's the latest sub, being injected into the game by Tom Markowski, looking for some sort of inspiration, but they're 3 goals down. Bocce, how good she been in this half? Receiving from Doveston. Goes wide now to Franco. Franco inside of the dangerous Miller, who's scored a brace already. She goes wide, had too much on that pass. And it might go over the sideline. It does. Just being a little bit too ambitious, as a famous late commentator would say. And it's over the sideline. Spring Hills to get the ball back. In the 81st minute, the Senol NPLW competition. Pythagoras, who won the championship last year, Box Hill United on top going into today's, or this weekend's fixtures. 7 wins, 2 losses. Going back now. Good defence by Rustovsky. Miller beaten by a few opponents, and as I look at the ref and thought she maybe deserved a free kick. Lavno, Gillies. Toban not happy with the treatment she received as she's offloaded by Doveston, who, as I say, might be in the votes. With some very, very good players tonight. Melbourne Victory in a very impressive performance. They beat Melbourne City 5-1, but City have battled in their first year in this competition. Yeah, they're under 23 side. So this would be seen as a mighty, mighty win by Melbourne Victory. Great work by Franco. She individually was able to fob off 4 opponents. Out to Mule. Mule goes down the right-hand side now. Trying to get her way through. Brought down over the sideline. It was good defence. And the robust Lavno did a good job again. And it was one of the players who's just come on for Melbourne Victory, Mika Regev, who did pretty well then before being bowled over near the byline. Goal kick for Spring Hills. It's just in their defensive half constantly at the moment. Spring Hills trying to clear. Arredondo received from Gillies. Nice ball by Stringfellow. Probably been her team's best tonight. Here's a chance for Arredondo, who's got some pace. To the top of the 18-yard area. Stringfellow shoots and just didn't quite have enough power on the shot along the carpet, and it's stopped by Mackenzie, who dived across on the left-hand side. 4-1 in the 84th minute. Mackenzie. Bulick. O'Keefe. Right down the middle. Still in the defensive half. Goes wide again. Nearly a turnover. Well played by Victory. Down that right-hand side. Tried to get it down to Regev. Back into play. Miller can't control it. Header again. Little beat on it by Mule. Doverston. O'Keefe. Played the defensive midfield role superbly tonight. Tarrant again. Here's Franco. But she couldn't quite control it. It was a long high ball. She attempted to get it on the half volley. Lavno's there to tidy up, but it goes, once again, it wasn't a pass that they'd be happy with. Spring Hills. Their passing tonight, the first 20 minutes has been disappointing, and they could have put a few in the back of the net if it wasn't for Chloe McKenzie. Of course, they have one goal disallowed when Stringfellow was deemed, when the Melbourne Victory girls spoke to the Lions person who had missed it originally, that she was offside. It was a terrific individual running goal by Stringfellow. Bocci now has the ball inside the attacking half again for Melbourne Victory, where it's lived in this half. And Miller, can she get there in time where the byline and the sideline meet? Gillies is with her. She brings her to ground. That has to be a free kick. There's been a lot of pushing and shoving tonight that the ref has let go, but that is probably the most severe of them. And Miller's had a good match with a couple. And again, there's a chat being made by Gillies. I don't think that the Spring Hill girls have been madly in love with some of the decisions tonight. They've certainly had a bit of a chat to the referee on a few occasions. But it's 4-1, getting a bit cold. The breeze is up. We're in late April, of course, big day tomorrow. A lot of people will be at the various dawn services to remember our fallen. And we wish all their families all the best for a big day. And then, of course, football and soccer and everything occurs in the afternoon. Kicking into a wall of opponents. Was Tarrant. Now she gets it to Franco. Goes back now to Tarrant. Gets around a couple of opponents. And then she gets it to the edge of the goal mouth. But having it protected on the left-hand side was Ibrahim, who's let 4 through, but been a little bit unlucky at times. Gets it high now, towards halfway. O'Keefe traps it, but couldn't control it. Liverto gets a little beat on it for Spring Hills. May receive again. Going down that left-hand side. And it's over the sideline. Before Stringfellow could get there. And we're in the 87th minute. There'll be a little bit of extra time because of the discussion to do with that controversial goal. Chloe McKenzie goes against her, and then they had something I hadn't seen before in the game, where you had all those defensive players helping McKenzie on the goal mouth. As another change occurs, Cardor comes on. Number 27, I thought they'd used all their subs, but they have now. Passes wide. Bulick. Miller. And who touched that last? I think it was certainly, they put their hands up, don't they, the players? Maybe to try and fool the ref. Alexandra Sinclair did on that occasion, but it's going to go the Melbourne Victory's way. Miller again. Arredonda. Sinclair with an opponent hanging off her. In Bulick's had a great match. Lavno inside the attacking half. Hooks it wide. Through ball, Liverto. Rammel, another one of the subs. Goes back to Stringfellow. Here's Cardor. Just on. Rammel into bodies once more, and they've just controlled the game a lot better tonight. Melbourne victory after the first 20 minutes. Here's Miller again. Gillies has been her opponent in the second half. When Darkage went off, Darkage tries to push her wide. Miller has two opponents. Getting a little ball on that is Arredondo, but only as far as Franco. Doveston, through ball of beauty. Bulick been magnificent. Inside the attacking half, sharing it cleverly with Doveston again. Tarrant, back to halfway. Nice ball. Finds Bocci. Arriving Mule, but just getting away from her and causing another corner kick. The Spring Hills defence. Tam involved as well in that movement. She's been very good tonight as well. Another change. And coming on is Anastasia Simic, one of the twins, for Melbourne victory. And Franco, who's been almost tonight. We know she can score a goal, but other players have chipped in. Curling ball, which just dipped a little bit and hit the left goal post. Although Ibrahim was coming across there to try and parry it away. I think she was happy to concede another corner kick. And they've certainly had to contend with a lot of corner kicks tonight. Really found it hard to get any attacking moves going in the second half. When it has got to the final third, it's completely broken down. Hence the margin. 5 minutes of extra time. And it would be a miraculous performance. It would be great to watch. Wouldn't be so good for Melbourne victory if Spring Hills were able to garner a point out of this. Doveston lost control of it. Here's Rammel. Works around O'Keefe. Now Sinclair on the attacking side. She's got McKenzie to beat, who got a hand on that and did magnificently. Sinclair disappointed because it was her and McKenzie, and I thought she'd get it past her. And she just stuck her hand out and saved the day again, Chloe McKenzie. She's made some great saves, hence why her team's 4-1. Nothing she can do about that goal that Labno scored right on the edge of the goal line. Bocci, did she keep it in? She was out, but it was still in from the Miller ball. Lovely pink boots of Anastasia Simic. Just on. Back to Bulick. And that's headed in my direction. Gets into the second pitch as McKenzie cleared that. Some magnificent saves tonight by McKenzie. Here's Gillies, who's tried hard. Rammel there as well. Chopped off by Miller. Second minute of extra time. Big win coming up for Melbourne victory, their biggest of the season. Outside the Melbourne City win. But in regard to their opponent, in regard to the fact that it's away at Springside, they struggled to win last year, Spring Hills at home, early on anyway. And only had 4 draws in their first 9 games all up. Finished okay in the second half of the year. Inside the attacking half, Labno nearly runs into her own teammate. In fact, I reckon she did in Toe Barn. Has to go back now to Liberto. Gillies again, who's tried pretty hard. Long ball, lovely header by Tam. She's done that all night. Then Labno, who just charges into players like there's no tomorrow, gets her boot to ball out to Stringfellow. Clearly, for mine, Spring Hill's best player. It's hard to give any of their players votes when they're down 4-1. It'll all be Melbourne victory, but who they are, the answer's a pineapple. Over the sideline, inside the attacking half again. Stringfellow, again, they just haven't had enough support when there's been a ball to be won at ground level. The Spring Hills team. Doveston's been superb tonight. She goes back now to Tam, another one who's had a big night. Nice little ball at close quarters. Combining nicely the victory. Down the right-hand side. Little give there by Regev. and then a Spring Hills player is put down, they'll get a free kick. They're trying to get on with it very, very quickly, as it's extremely cold now. And here's Labno. Goes across the face. Gillies liked her game as well. Goes long and high. Sinclair's there again, but just getting a boot on it. Good clearance once more by Bulick. He's had a great game. Down the right-hand side. Rammel does well. Tries to get it now to Cardor. And then kicking into bodies is Arredonda in Miller, and gets another throw at it. In the dying stages here, Tobarn with it now for Spring Hills. Goes back. Liberto. Labno. Had Muir right with her and has to retreat to the goalkeeper, Ibrahim. Little pass, no good. Miller in the road. Scored a brace tonight. Cardor with her. Did pretty well to keep her honest, Miller, who has to retreat. Bulick. Loose ball to be won again. Simic. Cardor. Arredonda. But once more, chipping in to win the interception is O'Keefe. Tam. Just controlling it herself as the whistle is blown. A big, big win for Melbourne Victory. Controversial at times. Mackenzie did a great job. She gave away an interesting free kick that we'll find out a bit more about. The only goal that the Spring Hills team scored was a penalty right on the edge of the goal line for Labno. There was another one that could have almost been a goal, but it was called offside against Stringfellow. But a very good result for Melbourne Victory as they get their fourth win of the season. They've been out of form in recent times. Just one win in their previous 5. But this was a good result tonight. And it now means that with this victory, they're -2 in their goal difference. They've won 4. And they've drawn 1 and lost 4. They've played 1 less game. While Spring Hills have won 4, lost 1 and drawn 5. Sorry, won 4, lost 5 and drawn 1. They're on 13 points, and Melbourne Victory also on 13 points. And because Spring Hills let through 3 goals more than Melbourne Victory tonight, and 4 all up, they're now -3. So Melbourne Victory will actually go above them on the table with 1 game in hand. So a disappointing result tonight for Spring Hills. Great result for Melbourne Victory. Jasmine Miller scored a brace. She was terrific. And Diaria with that magnificent goal down the left-hand side after scoring 4 against the Melbourne City team was also superb. Now, my 3, 2 and 1 going to be very, very hard to give. I said throughout the night there were a lot of star players for Melbourne Victory. Certainly for the opposition. Stringfellow was the best player for Spring Hills. And I thought Gillies tried very hard in defence as well. And outside that, they had an off night. Tom Markowski chatting to his players now. Melbourne Victory girls with their arms around each other. Very good night for them. They had some excellent players. I thought Mackenzie's job as a goalkeeper, making a lot of saves. She just misses out on votes. She was very, very good. But the 3, 2 and 1. 1 vote to Poppy O'Keefe, I thought controlled the midfield, particularly defensively. She was excellent tonight. Played a really good game. 2 votes to Tam, who was the centre-back, who I think really set the tone early on. She did a great job for Victory. And 3 votes to the defender, her partner in crime. Magnificent game by Bulick. So all Melbourne Victory players, wonderful result for them. They played really, really well tonight. So Miller Bulick gets the 3 votes. Portia Tam gets the 2 votes. And Poppy O'Keefe gets the 1 vote, with Doveston a little bit unlucky. She played a great game, as did the captain, Tarrant, another player down back. We mentioned Mackenzie with her numerous saves. Iaria was always a constant threat, and Miller scored twice, so she was a constant threat as well. And I know she only played a half, but I liked the game of bocce when she came on. But in the end, it was a very good performance by Melbourne Victory. Far too good in the Senol NPLW competition. Round 10, they've now gone ahead of Spring Hills on the table. As I say, they've played 1 less game, both on 13 points. They've got a slightly better goal difference with their 4-1 victory. And I think it was their best performance of the season. I know they beat Melbourne City 5-1, but this young team, the age limit is up to 22, so it's an under-23 team. And a lot of teenagers in this side who've played a lot of football for the young Matildas, and also under 15 teams for Victoria and also Australia. And they've got plenty of talent in this side, and they've had a good win tonight against Spring Hills. So it was Melbourne Victory 4, Spring Hills 1. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Plenty of football on the stream for the Senol NPL Women's Competition, and we'll catch you again soon.